memories we wish we could forget. But what if remembering any of your memories came at a cost? Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is called What If You Had to Pay to Remember Your Past? Let's get into it. The memory bank. In this world, every single memory you have ever had since the day you were born is stored in a giant computer database called the memory bank. Every single thing you have ever seen, smelled, touched, heard, or tasted is cataloged and labeled with a specific date and time and saved forever. This includes every private thought you've ever had. No one else can see these memories though. They are completely private unless you decide to share them. For the first 18 years of your life, you do not have access to the memory bank. It is completely off limits. You can't even know that it exists until your 18th birthday when suddenly a letter arrives in your mailbox informing you that you are now an adult and you now have access to your memories. Of course, there is a catch. Each memory comes at a price. Every picture, sound, smell, taste, thought, or feeling is stored in the memory bank according to how many brain cells were activated when you experienced something. So simple things like brushing your teeth might only cost 1 cent, while having your first kiss might cost $1. Complex memories which required more brain cells to form the memory are more expensive. Memories containing lots of activity or trauma are the most expensive of all. So certain memories have been deemed illegal to purchase. Murder, theft, rape, things like that. These memories are never forgotten. The government will make sure that you will never forget them. But if you want to forget other things, well, you can't. Because here's the catch. Once you erase a memory, it's gone forever. Maybe you're rich and you think you can just erase your poverty-stricken childhood. Well, sorry, but you can't. Even if you try to forget those memories, they are still going to be stored in the bank and you will never be able to retrieve them again. Maybe you're rape poor and you fantasize about just forgetting your horrible living conditions and buying a few happy memories to replace them. Well, that's not possible either. Even if you tried to buy happy memories, the memory bank would not allow it. Some memories are so traumatic that the government has declared them unsellable. For example, the loss of a parent when you were young, being sold to a cult, witnessing someone close to you die, things like that. The government says that no one should be able to forget these things because everyone deserves to remember their loved ones and to learn from their mistakes. Also, the government doesn't want people to forget their traumas because they believe that everyone should remember their pain and suffering, and that it is important for people to be reminded of how bad things were in order to prevent them from happening again in the future. The government also says that by erasing painful memories, you are essentially condoning the actions of others. If you forget that you were abused as a child, you're essentially saying that it's okay that it happened. If you forget that you were tortured by a dictator, you're essentially saying that it's okay that people suffered under his regime. But maybe you don't care about all that. Maybe you just want to forget your ex. Seems reasonable enough, right? Well, unfortunately, you can't. The government doesn't want you to forget your ex. Why? Because they say that it is necessary for your future relationships. By breaking up with someone, you are doing them a favor. That person was holding you back, and by ending your relationship, you allowed them to move on with their life and find someone better. By ending your relationship, you gave that person the opportunity to be happy. Therefore, you should never forget them. What about your own happiness, though? Doesn't that matter? Well, no, not really. The government says that you should never forget anyone who has ever broken your heart. You must remember them because you must remember that love is painful. Love hurts. You must never forget that. And the more people you love and lose, the more you will learn that love hurts. Eventually, you won't even bother trying to love anyone again. And then you'll be a cold, heartless monster with no soul. And that, the government believes, is worse than death. So let's say you have no choice but to remember everything. Can you at least control who you share your memories with? You think so, right? But no. You see, along with your memories, you have certain instincts built into you from birth which determine how and when you should feel certain emotions. Programmed to feel grief when you see a funeral, or programmed to feel disgust when you see a dead animal. Programmed to feel anger when someone wrongs you. You are programmed to feel fear when you see a tornado. But the craziest instinct of all is the one that compels you to share your memories. You don't choose who you share your memories with. Your memories simply compel you to share them with certain people. When you feel sadness, your memories will compel you to share them with someone who makes you feel safe and loved. When you feel anger, your memories will compel you to share them with someone who you think can help you. When you feel fear, your memories will compel you to share them with someone who you think can protect you. And when you feel grief, your memories will compel you to share them with someone who you think needs to know. You don't choose who you share your memories with. Your memories choose for you. So let's say you can't control who you share your memories with, but maybe you can control what you share, right? Wrong. The sharing ceremony is an annual event that every citizen is required to participate in once they turn 18. On this day, you must stand before an altar and share your most shameful memory with complete strangers. You must relive that moment in excruciating detail for everyone to hear. For that, you're free to live the rest of your life however you want. You can join the military, you can get married, you can have kids, whatever. But you must participate in the sharing ceremony every single year. Every single year you must stand before the altar and share another one of your most shameful memories with complete strangers. And no, this isn't some kind of religious purification ritual. It's actually to keep the populace under control. The government wants everyone to be terrified of sharing their memories. They want everyone to be too afraid to experience anything too emotionally stimulating, for fear of being forced to share it with the entire town. That way, people will lead boring, meaningless lives without ever truly experiencing anything. The people who run the memory bank believe that human emotion is dangerous and unpredictable, and they want to control it at all costs. In fact, they believe that the only way to maintain order and stability in society is to control people as emotions. But what if I told you that there is a way to escape this emotionless world? Way to break free from the shackles of the memory bank? Well, there is. In a faraway land, there is a group of rebels who hate the memory bank and everything it stands for. These rebels believe that the only way to achieve true freedom is to be able to experience life without fear of persecution. They call themselves the Blank Slate Rebels, and they have a plan to destroy the memory bank once and for all. Their plan is risky and dangerous, but it just might work. If you want to know more about the Blank Slate Rebels and their plan to destroy the memory bank, then you will have to visit another dimension where this alternate reality takes place. Oh, wait, never mind. You can't go to another dimension because that would create a paradox, and paradoxes are physically impossible. And besides, this isn't a cartoon. Can't just bend the laws of physics whenever you feel like it. And that's the end of the video. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.